Look at me.
Sure.
Look at me.
Sure.
I'm the captain now.
Events in FGO are usually remembered by their rewards, iconic final boss battles, or the limited servant that show up on banners, and I never get. The Imaginary Scramble event is one of those events that I will definitely remember for a while. So, hi everyone, it's Ayman, and this video will just be me talking about the event that just ended a few days ago, and I feel like a lot of people don't talk about events this way, so grab a snack, get comfy, as we dive through the Great Void Sea once again. We can start by looking at the trailer. It's amazing soundtrack, and you can see that the event is quite serious, as there is literally someone getting choked to death. Of course, we get the foreshadowing of what's gonna happen, but then there's what Nemo says at the end. I repeat, identify yourself, or say your name, however the translation works. We'll talk about that and the story later on. But for now, let's just talk about how this event is quite immersive, which for me is very important. We start up by seeing or hearing someone talking about going deeper, which is a very ominous overall, but then it just goes to us vibing as usual. This girl comes along to check up on us and tells us about taking the Nautilus to a test run. She also mentions how the very smart AI thingy chose some of the most random group of servants to come along, and one of them being Abby, who didn't make sense to be added. So they take her off the mission. A very interesting decision, not gonna lie. Fast forward, next day you rush towards the hangar because you stayed late at night, making Abby happy. You get a debrief, you move on, you get inside, and Nemo gives you the scolding if you're live. So far the players don't know much about Nemo. He then calls you acting commander as a payback for calling him my captain. And here you realize that you officially don't have the Vin key or someone to tell you what to do or give you a plan or commands you to do stuff. Not like it really mattered. It makes it feel like there's more at stake here. Events that do that usually feel more, I gotta repeat it again, feel more immersive in a way, and you just feel a sense of hopelessness. The event that comes to mind is the Oko or the CCC event. It's not like it mattered a lot, since somehow the connection in most stories just gets cut off and you're never able to contact Da Vinci anyway. Not too long after a simulation battle happens, you see Mr. Ho Cyborg shuffling around, which if you know him or played the last summer event, then you know that something is not right. At the same time, it seems like the cutest summer servant has a hunch, which makes everyone in Caldi a bit on edge. But then the super smart computer just comes in and concludes that all of this is just a dream, which apart from being the most cliche thing ever, it raises some eyebrows, as that is usually revealed at the end of the story and not at the start of it. I still have no clue what it meant by the dream thing or how the dream is coming true. I have no idea. Everything seems to be going smoothly. You get to meet the other Nemos and get accustomed to the whole crew. However, the next part of the training, which involved doing a zero sail dive to simulate what to do when under an enemy attack, happens, and surprise surprise, this doesn't go too well. While in the Void Sea, we hit some coral reef or something and got stuck. Obviously everyone panics because there shouldn't be anything in the void space anyway. Our chat of a character just says, "Oh, it's fine, we're gonna work it out anyway." I didn't really know how I felt about that, because it just felt out of character for most normal human beings. But then again, this guy kinda did so much, so I kinda get why he's calm and collected and he just says like it will work it out. But it doesn't really make sense how he was panicking more before we got into this dilemma. But I digress. This feeling of being stuck in a very close environment, like Nemo specified, creates some tension. The fact that we are all on our own in a space we don't fully comprehend, fighting enemies that we don't really understand, but learn more and more about them eventually, gives me some Bioshock or Dead Space vibes, which if you have played any of these games, you will know that that's a very good thing. This atmosphere was solidified by the music. Like, damn, this music hits. Like, the music in this event, I'm sorry, but every time I open the map, I have to listen to this music. I have to just stay there and vibe to the soundtrack. I just can't. It's so good. And the fact that you use like the sonar peep to like become the centerpiece of the, I don't know, the soundtrack, it just works so well with the event. And I'll probably be using the soundtrack in this video, so keep your ears peeled, I guess. This event has a score ladder and a shop system. However, it adds another layer of gameplay, which is exploration. Kinda like the Oko event, but instead of having like 3 or 4 choices each turn, you can explore as much as you need. You can just go anywhere using set like different ways of expanding the map. You can stumble on treasure chests with different rarities or enemies that vary in difficulties and have certain gimmicks to beat. Exploration is only limited by resources, and speaking of that, this event proved to be much more grindy. It all has to do with getting more resources resources to further explore and progress the story. On one hand, exploration was encouraged for the rewards, but on the other hand, farming just to be able to explore wasn't my idea of fun, and there were times where getting the lowest rarity chest made me the happiest man alive, as it had resources, which meant I didn't have to farm as much. Battle wise, there wasn't really anything, like the wheel wasn't really reinvented in this event. There was these type of enemies that you have to hit them once so they can reveal who they are, and then you just attack them again, which I found really dumb. I didn't really get the point of it. I'm sorry. I get what they're trying to do, but it just made it more tedious. I just went, everyone Dante's go brrr, and I just used him to farm the event, so it was good for me, but for someone else, like, they'll probably just find it really annoying to have to hit them all one by one. Overall, I appreciate what they did with the gameplay and how they tried different stuff, but the gameplay could have been more time friendly, not gonna lie, and there was no need for it to be that tedious. That doesn't really matter because the story was the highlight of the event. I'm sure people don't care about the spoilers, but from now on it's non-spoiler free territory, so you've been warned. I found the pace the story has progressed in to be quite pleasant and natural. Everything seemed to be going as expected until encountering a new servant who helped you out. That servant being Van Gogh, however you want to pronounce it, or so that girl claims. You progress through the story, you summon more servants to help you out, and of course they have to wear swimsuits to fight, which is the best excuse I've ever seen to add fan service. Anyways, you get along with Van Gogh, even go on a date with her. It was later revealed that she was a girl from Greek mythology named Clytie? I don't know. It was revealed that how the Foyan god made her the way she was to make it easy to be manipulated. We also learned about some type moon concepts, especially Foyaners. Never thought Gil de Reus would be quite a good lecturer, and the fact that Gil was explaining to Da Vinci and Sion was kind of funny to me. Having Van Gogh around created more tension, especially after she became a mob spawn, and after that was done, it was revealed that Hokusai was behind all of this, and she did that so she can paint. Okay, interesting. But wait, it wasn't her, it was the Foyan god. Van Gogh runs off out of guild and becomes a massive, I don't know, balloon flower thingy. While we were heading there to help Van Gogh out, Van Gogh was having an existential crisis that was solved by Nemo asking her one question.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
In which she answers all of the above. So you go and you fight whatever the spirit was, and we all live happily ever after. But wait! Another plot twist. It was actually Yang Goifi, who was behind all of this, and she summons other Foyaners, who forces everyone to like and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, her grandma-in-law, who is Wuziten or Night Bride, or how most people know her, Assassin 170, was summoned as well, and turns out she was the key to beat her in the final battle. The final battle didn't really feel that climactic in my opinion, compared to like Kama final battle or Kiara. I hoped it would have been cooler considering all the build up for it. I loved how the tension kept going throughout the story overall, like between the Nemo's shadow clones, but the whole I was behind all of this felt a bit goofy, even though it was hinted at from the beginning and there was a build up to it. After all was well and done, you go back to Chaldea, you wake up and boom, Van Gogh is in bed next to you. Never thought the day would come where I would say that, but I did. Van Gogh went from a character that I have no idea what she is about to a character that I really want to summon at the moment. I've never seen an event builds up a character that way, and I think the event did a brilliant job at doing that, at selling the character to everyone. She is probably one of my favorite servers now. Just wish she actually came to my Chaldea, but she didn't. But oh well. If you haven't seen it already, I've made a review on Van Gogh, so be sure to check it out. Overall, I have really enjoyed the event, and I think it's one of the better ones in my opinion. But yeah, that's it. Bye!